everyone. Samalid Hogan here. I'm joined today by Steve Rosenkrantz. He was the owner of Serv-U Stores, a family retail chain of stores in Western Mass and Connecticut. And now he is working for Entrepreneur Source. He's been with them for a long time. Entrepreneur Source is the world's largest and number one franchise coaching organization dedicated to empowering potential entrepreneurs to achieve their personal and professional goals through self-employment. I'm really happy to be joined today by Steve. Thank you. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Welcome to. I'm so excited to be here.
Excellent. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself and when did you get into helping entrepreneurs start their franchises or own a franchise?
Sure. Well, my history is probably very important. As Samalid just said, I grew up in a family business called Serv-U Stores. Anyone who grew up in the area will remember me because I was on TV commercials for, almost 30 years, many with my dad. We had that chain of True Value home centers and paint wallpaper stores and auto supply stores and baby furniture stores, Baby Castle, a lot of people remember me for. And I really utilized that experience in that family business to kind of reinvent myself. Back in 2001, so we're talking 20 years ago now, I actually invested in a franchise called the Entrepreneur Source and became a franchisee. I was actually a client of the Entrepreneur Source as I was at a career crossroads that I thought I'd never have. And I was excited to work with a coach. I had no idea really what my next venture would look like, but I knew I was never going to work for other people. I never had before, always been an entrepreneur because I grew up in the Serv-U family. And now it's just a matter of the right fit. And that's exactly what happened. I said to my coach, I think I want to do what you're doing. And that's exactly what happened. I invested in the Entrepreneur Source, and we're a franchise worldwide that helps people find the right franchise.
That's excellent. So can you tell us a little bit more about what's the process that you take your clients through when they come to you interested in purchasing a franchise?
Absolutely. And when I like to actually back up a little bit, the ideal person who would work with me or be referred to me, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone who even mentions the word franchising. Most people do not really know what a franchise is, beyond McDonald's, Subway, Dunkin' Donuts. And if I told them I'm a franchise, they'd say, wait, you flip no burgers, you have no employees, you work whenever you want, wherever you want, but we're a franchise also. And there's all kinds of shapes, sizes, and investment levels of franchises. So really what I do is I educate people. Usually at an early stage, all I need to know is they have entrepreneurial curiosity because they may start their own business, they may invest in a current business, but they should also learn about franchising and really benchmark and compare and contrast what model might fit best for them. So I'm a free service, and the reason I'm totally free, no cost, no obligation, no time limits, you don't sign anything, is because we are fully subsidized by hundreds of franchises across the world in every industry, investment level range, and geography for the benefit of our clients. I love working here in Western Mass, Northern Connecticut, because I'm a New Englander. I grew up here. I've always lived here. And although my clients span all across the whole country and into Canada, my heart still goes out to hopefully continue to make influential, positive impacts by my free coaching right here in Western Mass.
Great. Can you give us a few examples of some of the franchises you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So locally, for years, people get that Valpak mailer in their mailbox. And that was one of my original clients for years. He's since retired. So that's one example of a franchise. If you go to Sport Clips, a haircut place for men and boys, a sports themed, the second recently opening up of 3 that will be opening up. That is an example of a client of mine that actually kept his job, military, and he runs this as more of a semi-absentee operation. He never cuts hair. He doesn't even have to go in on a regular basis. He can run it from afar very effectively. So that would be a good example. Another, my long-term clients of mine, the Yaffes, owned and ran Home Watch Caregivers, which exists today with a new owner. The Connecticut group took it over because the Yaffes ran it for many, many years after I helped place them in that franchise. And then they retired, which is exactly was the plan. So those would be some good examples.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And what would you say, I mean, I know somewhat the answer to this question, but what would you say are the benefits of buying a franchise as opposed to starting your own business from scratch?
Well, that's a great question. You know, franchising's not for everybody, but I'm a true believer everyone should learn about it as part of their entrepreneurial knowledge and their education. And I just want to be kind of a slice of the pie to determine, hey, is franchising right for you? The real differences I see is you've got a roadmap to follow. You've got those guardrails on the side of the road. You're still driving the car, but you're not going to go off the road because there's technology and marketing and training and support. I'm going to go back to that word technology, Samalid. Technology just changes so quickly. My mother-in-law is on Zoom now. Who would have thought it, right? And so technology moving at light speed, that is why I think we're geniuses here at the Entrepreneur Source. At 36 years ago, when we were founded, again, I've been doing it for 20 years, we've always touted franchising as one of the benefits is their expertise in technology. So I don't have to worry about technology every day. I just know that it's all being done on my behalf for my benefit by my franchisor, the Entrepreneur Source, to enable me to do the things I need to do to most effectively connect with my clients and future clients. And technology moves so fast, and franchisors really excel at that. So I'd say that's probably the number one reason. So you don't have to wake up every day. As a business owner, when you're a franchise owner, you're not reinventing the wheel every day like I did back in my Serv-U days, where every day we had to figure out things ourselves and figure out how to stay ahead of the curve. And we did it very successfully, but it's a new day today. And franchising is probably more powerful than ever now because people want a work-life balance. They don't want to just 24/7 be running their business. What I find is not all, but in many cases, people who own their own independent business, like I grew up in, it's hard to have that defined work-life balance. So this weekend, I'm going to enjoy the whole weekend off, and I really don't think about work at all. And you can't really do that with a job very well. They dictate your time and your schedule. And even with independent businesses, for the most part, it tends to spill over and kind of there's a murky work-life balance. So work-life balance and technology, probably the two hot buttons for me.
Yeah, I understand that very well. Many of my clients, some of them that have come to me to look for help with starting a business, I always ask, why do you want to start this business? And I'm always surprised when people say, because I want to have more flexibility, but more time with my family.
Right.
And you definitely get the flexibility, but I'm not sure so much about more time with your family. Owning a business is a full-time plus, and it does spill over the weekends. And, as you said, by using technology and having some tools already available for you to manage the business more efficiently, it can cut back on those hours significantly. So that's good to know that many other franchises have that already in them, where they help the owners manage their business more efficiently. Can you tell us a little bit, what is the typical cost of owning a franchise?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it really can vary. There's lots of different models you can get involved with and ways you want to run the business. I'll give you an example. So I had two clients that partnered together for many years, and I actually brought the urgent care industry to New England. I'm pretty excited about that. That was with Doctors Express, now known as AFC Urgent Care. My clients actually opened 27 of them throughout the New England states. So that was really exciting. By the way, it's important to know that my clients who I put into AFC Urgent Care / Doctors Express had no medical or health background. So they would not have gravitated towards that. What I looked at is, What do they want their life to look like? How do they want to grow that business? So that would be more on the higher end of investment, because to get one of these full medical clinics going, up and running, it can be very expensive. But to answer your question, franchises, many of them are in the service sector. They don't even require a storefront, a brick and mortar, as I call it. You can run many from home, from an office. Many are mobile based, some with employees, no employees. So it could start as low as $30,000, $40,000 investment with the proper financing, and go all the way up to well over $1 million, and every step in between.
And you also help folks start a franchise if they have an existing business. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So many times people come to me, and the back of my business card, one little line says, "Have you ever considered franchising your business?" And that's gotten a lot of play over the years. A local example would be Extra Innings. It's a baseball, softball facility, camps for kids, batting cages, pitching mounds, things like that. Started by two minor league ball players who saw my back of my card through their coach that actually was part of the Springfield Chamber. And it was just an after five chamber event years ago that whole connection was started. And these guys out in Boston, Middleton, Mass, found me, and I helped get the wheels going to franchise that independent business. So an independent business that has something very special, they have a great deliverable of services or products, but they're very localized or regionalized. What my company can do is we can analyze, is it replicatable? Is it duplicatable, what they're offering in terms of services or products? Could it work well in San Antonio, Texas? And could it work well in Miami, Florida, and Ottawa, Canada? And once we determine, yes, they've got something really special here that could be expanded, franchising is just a great vehicle in many cases where you can retain the control needed to run your new franchise, but you can't be everywhere at the same time. And with a local or independent business, you can be stretched very thin the more you scale. So at some point, it would bode well to at least research what would that look like. And we have a complimentary introductory investigation, if you will, for anybody who thinks, hey, I think I've got something that maybe could be expandable. Could franchising be the vehicle to do that? I'm happy to speak with anybody who's curious on that as well.
Great. And we recently had a short conversation about, franchising being an opportunity for folks who own property, commercial property as well. Can you tell us a little bit what opportunities might there be for commercial property owners who currently have a lot of vacancy in their properties?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, two ways I would answer that. One is, ironically, we have several franchises that dovetail into property management, and they actually offer those tools and trainings and technologies to take someone who has dabbled in or has been involved in some way in real estate and kind of take them to a whole new level, utilizing the resources the franchise offers. So that's kind of one angle I think that you might be asking about. But I also do a lot of networking with folks that are in the commercial real estate space, because oftentimes they may have properties available. Now, the key is, however, for most cases, I would also need them to identify an individual or individuals who can also go to training and run or at least launch that franchise. It can't just be, well, I've got space available. That doesn't work as well. However, there are some exceptions to that. There are some really interesting franchises that are pretty close to absentee, where other than owning it and running it and looking at the app on your phone to see how you did, the franchisor takes on many of the responsibilities of the day-to-day running of the business and setting up that business. In that case, it could be as simple as the right kind of space available that could occupy that. Hopefully that answers that question.
Great. Thank you, Steve. How would people get in touch with you to learn more about your entrepreneur stores and franchising?
Yeah, I'm a guy that I like to tell my clients, I've been saying this for 20 years, I might be the only person people meet in their lifetime that will not go to bed at night without returning every call, email, and text from that same day. I've never knowingly missed a day in 20 years. So that's kind of cool. So I would start by giving you my cell phone. It's 413 454-4400. I'm always available. My cell's always on, and you count to 10, I pretty much call you back. It's that simple. I also am available on my website, S. Rosenkrantz. That's SRosenkrantz at esourcecoach.com. S. Rosenkrantz at esourcecoach.com. And so those are two great ways, visiting my website, or just pick up the phone, 413-454-4400. Call me anytime. I love to educate people, Samalid. There's no cost, no obligation. It's just a fun way to learn a little bit about franchising, something you didn't know before, and factor that into your entrepreneurial discovery process.
Great. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us today and for giving us great information about franchising and for giving us your contact as well so that people can get in touch with you directly. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.